Hi guys, welcome to the AuPaircom YouTube channel. My name is Tiffany, I'm 21 years old, and I was an au pair in the US. Being an au pair was one of the best decisions of my life, and today I want to share my experience with you. I always loved working with kids, and I always wanted to travel the world and live in another country. That's why the au pair program was so perfect for me. I could travel, explore the world, learn about a new culture, improve my English, and work with kids. My au pair year was one of the best years of my life, and it changed my personality, and I grew so much. Let me start with some basic facts about my host family and my au pair experience. I was an au pair in Richmond, Virginia, in the US. I had four little host kids. They were 5, 4, 2, and a newborn baby. The baby was born while I was there, and it was such an amazing experience to see my host kid grow. I mean, she was born when I was there, and when I left, she could already crawl. That's one of the good things to be an au pair of little kids because you see them change so much throughout the year. I built a really strong relationship with my host kids, and they literally feel like my little siblings. And my host parents both worked in the medical field, so they had really stressful jobs, but they still managed to take time for me and build a really strong relationship with me. So I can really say that my host family is like a second family for me, and I'm so grateful that it was a perfect match for me. One thing that made my host family really special and different from other host families is that I wasn't alone. I lived in a host family with two au pairs. So I had a co au pair. Her name was Emma. At first, I was a little bit scared that it wouldn't really work out, or that we wouldn't like each other, or that the kids would have a favorite au pair and it would just be awkward and weird. But actually, Emma and I became best friends, and it was the best thing ever that we lived together. It was so much easier to deal with homesickness or daily struggles because we could always talk about our pain and our joy and share life together. Now, you're probably wondering how our daily life worked if we were two. So, let me talk about the schedule. Emma and we had different shifts. So one of us would always work in the morning from 6:30 to like 2 p.m. and the other one would start at 2 p.m. to like 8 p.m. The shifts would always change every couple of days to make it even. And our host family was so flexible that we could always tell them if we wanted to have the morning off or work in the evening because we had plans in the morning or something like this. So we could always change the schedules around how it was best for us. So the person who would work in the morning would eat breakfast with the kids, get them ready for school, drop them off at school and pick them up later, eat lunch with them, play with them, and then put the little girl down for her nap time. And the shifts would switch and the other person would start to work in the afternoon and wake up the little girl from her nap, play with the kids, bring them to their activities like soccer or baseball or just play with them. It always depended on the day if you would take them to a park or the library or just stay at home and play board games. And one day in the week, we would also cook dinner for the whole family. So this is how our basic schedule looked like. And even though the schedule was pretty similar each day, every day was so different because working with kids is different every day. It depends on their mood and what they want to do and play. So every day is so individual and it was so much fun to just be a part of their daily life. Let's talk about my favorite moments. One of my favorite things about being an au pair is that I really felt like a local. I didn't feel like a tourist that was just traveling around the US because I lived in an American host family. I had American friends. I dropped my kids off at an American school, so it really felt like I was just living my daily life there, and I could just experience the American culture so much differently than a tourist could ever do it. I love to experience American holidays like Christmas or Thanksgiving or Easter with my host family and just see the differences between American traditions and German traditions and just compare their traditions and dishes for each holidays with each other. It was so funny to see what they would eat for Christmas and stuff like this. Another reason why my au pair year was the best year of my life is because of all the friendships that I made throughout the year. I think it's really easy to find other au pair friends in your area because every organization will always help you to find au pairs and connect you with au pairs in your area. And there are also a lot of online group chats on Instagram or WhatsApp or other online platforms where you can just connect with other au pairs, what makes it really easy to find au pair friends. But to be honest, I personally had actually more American friends than au pair friends, what made my year so special because I could really experience the American culture and American young adults. I'm Christian and back at home in Germany, I was really active in my church. That's why I decided to look for a church in Richmond and I checked out a lot of different churches and then I realized that a lot of American churches have a lot of young adult groups. That's how I found a lot of local friends in Richmond and had more American friends than au pair friends. The friends that I met in church introduced me to other friends, invited me to Friendsgivings, Valentine's Days, to play flag football or pickleball, and it was so American. Of course, another highlight were all the trips that I made. I saw cities like New York City, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Miami, Orlando, Outer Banks, and it was just so much fun to travel around. I traveled alone, I traveled with other au pairs, with Emma, and also with my host family. And honestly, I traveled more in this 1 year than ever in my life. I still managed to feel like a local and not like a tourist all the time. So that's something that's really good about the au pair program. And my biggest highlight was, of course, my host family. I'm just so thankful that I didn't just find a host family, but a second family that I would stay in touch with my whole life, I hope. I already visited my host family one time, and I hope that I will be able to visit them again really soon. I'm just so thankful that I had a host family that I could always talk with. I could always talk with them about my struggles, my problems, my homesickness, and they would always listen. I'm so thankful that I had such a great connection with my host kids, and I'm so thankful that I shared my host family with Emma, and then we became best friends. So my host family was the biggest highlight of the year, definitely. So if you're thinking about becoming an au pair, I really want you to be careful by choosing your host family and take your time and just choose the host family that feels like the perfect match for you. I hope that you had fun watching this video, and I hope that it made your decision to become an au pair easier. So if you have any more questions about the au pair program or my personal experience there, then feel free to write a comment and share this video with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and like the video if you liked it. Stay tuned for the next video. In the next video, I don't just want to share about the highs, but also about the lows of my au pair year. I want to talk about how I dealt with homesickness, other struggles that I had as an au pair, and I want to give some more advice for future au pairs. So see you next time.